I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Move It Fix. This is Move It Fix Monday. Welcome back. What I want to talk to you about in this video are the 5 places that people roll out that they maybe shouldn't be rolling out, or definitely should be rolling out in a different way. If you think about foam rolling, using a lacrosse ball, whatever your apparatus, you have to think, what am I really trying to do? And what you're not trying to do is roll out an organ or roll out a nerve. You're trying to roll out on muscle mass in a way that's not going to be damaging, but it's going to get the muscle to relax, going to allow you to get into a deeper range of motion, something along those lines. So if you're rolling out and you're not achieving that, or you're getting into an organ, that's maybe not something we want to do. So the first place that people will roll out that I don't think they should be trying to roll out is in this area of the neck. And a common thing that's done is taking a dowel and then either like attaching it to something and pushing it in here, or laying down like where you'd be here, and then this would be, see, I don't do it, and then this would be pushing in here like this. Now, that's just not a good place to be rolling out, because coming out of your neck right here are all the nerves that go off your spinal cord and down into your arm. And there's actually an orthopedic test that's meant to aggravate a condition where you push in here, which essentially tractions the nerves out. And is that really what I'm trying to do when I'm foam rolling, or when I'm doing self-myofascial release, is traction the nerves coming out of my neck and poke in there? No. So what you could do instead for this is, if you had got some lotion and you put lotion on the side of your neck, you could just gently go like this, and you're not going to get that sharp point in this soft tissue spot, which is like your scalenes and some muscles there, but they're very thin. And if you poke aggressively in there, you're going to be pushing on other structures. So in my opinion, not worth it. Use lotion, go on your hands. That's number 1. Number 2 is in the armpit, right in here. There's a little zone where you don't want to roll out. You really want to be rolling out more in your lats and in your pecs. But you know, we go after rolling out the place that hurts, because if it hurts, that must mean it's good. But that's not true. Just because something hurts to push on doesn't mean you should be pushing on it. So a common mobility thing would be taking, again, a dowel, putting it in your armpit, searching for spots that are really tender, and then sort of moving your arm around. I think we can do better than that. Again, because of the nerve structures and the arteries in here, I wouldn't go something sharp in my armpit unless you're a trained manual therapist or massage therapist or something, and you can sort of know where you are. So instead, what I would do for that is either go foam roller on lats, because I don't know that there's some like little muscle in there that you have to use something so sharp and there's no other option. So I would just go here instead, because you're going to get blunt pressure in that area versus very pinpoint pressure. So you're much less likely to aggravate anything. And then if you needed to get your pecs, what you could do is just grab a lacrosse ball, and then you could roll here or go against something and roll. But to take a sharp object and poke it in here when there's these sensitive structures, is it the best way? Probably not. Is it a way that could work if you really know where you're going? Yes, but that's not always the case. The third spot is between your triceps and your biceps right here. So again, it would be really kind of sensitive. If I took a ball or something and I push it in here really hard, that's going to be sensitive. But that sensitivity is not an indication that Ryan needs to roll out and there's some adhesion or something in here. And that's because the nerves that go down, they come out your neck like this, they go under your collarbone and then under here, and they come out like this. And so when you push here, there's not a lot of muscle mass between the outside world and the bone. And so what you can essentially do is pin those neurovascular structures against the bone, and it's sensitive. So then you push out and you roll on it. So again, maybe not one of the best places to be rolling out. Instead, what you could do is just aim for your biceps, and then you could aim for your triceps, either with a foam roller or a ball. There's just no reason to be going in right here. So that's number 3. The 4th place I wouldn't roll out is my abdomen with sharp, heavy objects. So let's see here. Commonly, I'll grab a kettlebell. Commonly, get a kettlebell, and people will lay on this like jamming this into the abdomen, or taking a ball, putting it on the abdomen, and then doing this. And I just would never recommend this to anybody, and I don't think anybody should be doing that. The reason is, it's not like you just have your abdominal muscles and then your hip flexors right there. You have organs, you have your intestines, you have arteries, you have a lot of structures that are in front of your hip flexors and some of the muscles that you're aiming for when you do that. So, you know, maybe you could aim a little bit lower, but still there's some structures in there that you have to be pretty precise if you don't want to aggravate things, and there's certainly people who have been aggravated by doing that. Instead, what I would do, and I think the reason that people do get benefit, is because they're stimulating nerve endings and probably getting some reduction of muscle tone in their abdominal muscles by doing that. I would just go on a ball, like a medicine ball or a wall ball, and then I would gently do something like this. Again, now we're going to avoid the blunt force of the kettlebell in an area where there's organs and other things that are sensitive, and we'll still get the stimulation of the connective tissue and the fascia and the nerve endings and some work on the muscles in your abdominal region. So that's number 4. I don't go aggressively into the abdomen. The 5th one and last one is the back of the knee. And there's 2 spots on the back of the knee where people will roll out. Just right in the back of the knee. And then also a place I would certainly avoid would be right in here. Now your sciatic nerve comes down the back of your leg and it splits. And you have a branch called your tibial nerve that runs down like this. And you have a branch called your common peroneal or common fibular nerve that wraps around the bone right here and goes down your leg. So if you were to roll back in here, it may be sensitive, but it's certainly not an area that you want to roll out. And you definitely want to avoid right back in this outside corner. Now that's a place where people do feel tightness and tenderness because your hamstring, and if I go like this, you can see this right here, that's your hamstring tendon. It attaches in here. So if it feels tight for some reason, and then you start rolling it, yes, the tendon is there, but also the nerve is there. So you don't want to be pressing that nerve against the bone because it's very close to the skin. There's not a lot of stuff between it and the bone. So if you push on it, you're going to be kind of grinding it against the bone. What I would do instead is stay in the meat. Stay in the meat of your calf down here. Don't get up into the back of the knee like this and then get up into the meat of the hamstring. There's just no business to be rolling out aggressively in the back of the knee. So that is number 5. So I'm not saying don't roll out. What I'm saying is roll out the thing that you're trying to roll out, which is muscles, to get them to relax, to get them not as sore, whatever you believe that you're doing when you're rolling out. But what we don't want to do is roll out areas that just don't make sense to roll out. Where the nerves are, nerve against bone, organs, and neurovascular structures, and then the back of the knee, again, where there's nerves and blood vessels. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys this week on Move It Fix Monday. Hopefully that helps you to make some better rolling out decisions. I'll see you guys next week.